Yeah, Kyle, is Jake Moody? You guys, wined and dined, chatted, taken a relationship taken off?
No, I don't talk to the guys. I don't talk to kickers very much. Just tell them to make it. There's not a lot to talk to them about. They need to kick it between those two uprights, and if they want to talk more, that's fine. I'll do whatever they want. I don't pretend like I'm doing something when I'm talking to the kickers. I'd like them to just stay mentally clear, lock into their job, and get it done.
There's 53 guys on the team. I think it's impossible in football to have a relationship with every player on your roster.
All right, wow.
Let's go to Mark in the city. Mark, what's going on, man? Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, fellas. And Evan, as a fellow Leo, happy birthday to you.
Oh, my dog.
Now, fellas, what you also got to realize as far as the kicking situation here in San Francisco during the training camp, because the Niners were thin at wide receiver, they had to let go some of the kickers that were supposed to challenge Moody in the preseason. But that also tells me that they have enough confidence in Moody this year going forward that they don't need to challenge him, because it was more pressing to find wide receivers right now than to find kickers. And since it's his third year, I really expect Moody to really hone in on his craft, because it takes sometimes, especially if you have a niche type position, it takes a couple of years to get your footing, no pun intended, down before, you can get stable and solid. And I think the 49ers see that Moody this year, and hopefully we'll be able to see the same.
These dudes have – there's no love for kickers. And like you said, they make them, you take them for granted, and then when you miss them, you want this dude ran. And where he was drafted 2 years in, going in his third year, I think he's fine. I really do, man.
But Mark brings up a good point, though, is one of the reasons he doesn't have competition is because they needed the roster spot because they're getting banged up left and right.
This is getting out of control.
Well, I think they had, was it 27 injuries going into the game, and then Pooney gets hit with a PCL, Kiner a high ankle sprain, and Taylor dislocates his shoulder. They're all multi-week injuries.
Damn.
And that's going to push them up to the beginning of the regular season. Yeah, the Niners are a pretty banged-up squad, and I agree. My point is, I think for most kickers who don't have some sort of, for lack of better terms, no pun intended, footing with the respective teams, they generally, their seat is hotter than other positions because they are replaceable. Greg Joseph is a veteran and could step in and I think do a serviceable job.
You didn't even think that. You thought that was just dog and pony show, him coming in. Like, you don't think he was a threat?
I think he was a threat until, to Mark's point, they needed the roster spot. I don't think the Niners have the greatest confidence in Jake Moody. May have been a great step in the right direction for him because, that like you want your guy to hit those kinds of kicks in the regular season. But I don't think they look at him like, again, Kyle Shanahan looked at the rest of his kickers prior to Moody.
And you might say, "Goo, it doesn't count," but it does. The fans are down on him. I can look you in the I feel like I got to step up for the youngster, but they are down on him. And I'll say this: I know I have a funny romanticism of how sports work, and if I was Bob Melvin or Steve Kerr, what I would sit down and say to you or Kenny, but I would have a conversation with my kicker. So when I hear Kyle say, I don't talk to him much, I do wonder, and again, it's just a dude from Union City talking, Evan, I do wonder if that may be some of the problem. Like, you want to chop it up with the young kid. You know what I'm saying? Good or bad, but to have him kind of in what I deem from that soundbite isolation, it's always good talking to the boss. Like, when I talk to the boss, you feel better or worse about things, but it's true blue that, nothing is being there to be festered, and that's where stuff grows, and then you get animosity or resentment or whatnot. But I don't know, Kyle, that was a little strong for me. Like, he's part of the team, chop it up with him.
You mean this one?
No, I don't talk to the guys. I don't talk to kickers very much. Just tell them to make it.
Hey, Kyle.
Bring me my money. That's what that is. Bring me my money. I don't want to hear no excuses, Evan.
Yeah, Kyle, is Jake Moody, you guys wined and dined, chatted, taken a relationship taken off?
No, I don't talk to the guys. I don't talk to kickers very much. Just tell them to make it.
So I can tell you this, you guys. Joe Lacob took Kuminga to the Valkyrie game. It's fair to say Moody would not be Kyle's date to the Valkyrie game. It don't sound like it.
Nor Jed York's.
Man.
Jake Moody's here to make kicks.
Free
That's
Moody,
about
man.
it.
Free Moody. I hope he has a good year, and they may need him. They're going to need him.
You don't want to free
man.
Moody then. You want to lock him up.
No, yeah, just free Moody from the assaulted social. Yeah, all the hate.
But and that's look. I've probably sounded I don't know, critical of Jake Moody, but that's kind of my takeaway from the weekend is a guy hits 5 of 6 kicks, and he can't win. He just can't. I think that there are people who are just simply waiting for Jake Moody to fail at some point in the regular season and say, I told you so. That's what I felt, that the kind of energy that I felt from a lot of people listening to Overtime with Grandy and Bennett. And maybe it's not waiting on him to fail, but just there's still doubts about it. And honestly, I think those doubts are applicable to a lot of positions or players on the 49ers.
What if I inserted Brock Purdy? There are some people out there that are not sold on Brock Purdy, but at this point, after he got the Benjamins, it doesn't matter because he's not going anywhere. I feel that way with Brock Purdy. I feel like he's at a point to where he could change the narrative with a more, and I'm not being unrealistic, he's got to make every kick, but with a more consistent year, he can turn into being one of those guys that you talked about on the other side for the Raiders, where you just feel like before he kicks the ball, it's going through the upright.
But
it's got to start somewhere, and I agree with you.
How long is it going to take to get there?
And there we go. Yeah. Well, I'll say this: when you were drafted where he was at, doesn't that buy you a little more time? And I'd call that CNN, the politics of it.
But that's why we're having the conversation, is because I think a big reason why he is still here, or why his job is as secure as it looks, is because of his draft status. It's not because of what he's done in the NFL. You know, and also he was hurt a lot last year too, and dealt with some inconsistencies before. Missed a big kick in the Rams game that cost the Niners early, then dealt with injury, bounced back, and Carter helped me. I stand corrected. His game winner last year came against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Was that the one they tried to give away in Tampa?
Well, yeah, that was the one. I think he also had a miss in that game too.
Okay.
You know, but it's
Sunday morning.
But he hit the one that counted. You know,
Right.
but that's not the feeling that you want when you see your kicker walking out to the field of, well, maybe.
Well, I'll tell you this, partner. It's what they signed up for. So I'll tell you what, they're going to come for Kyle. Like you said, they're not coming for Jake once it's real and it starts in Seattle, because now that'll be something on his ledger and John's. If this thing doesn't work out and he's costing them games, I mean, it's going to be hell to pay from the fan base in regard to why did you not do something and why did you let this continue. But Ev, I got to just say this. Hearing that clip from Shanny, if I'm the captain of the ship, what if I told you, and what do you give me? I just don't like the James T. Kirk, you know, the captain of the Star Trek Enterprise. I don't like him saying I don't talk to a certain component of his team much.
Well, I'm glad you said that, Goop.
Yeah, I don't like that. The more I think about it, it's just me.
Well, let's just check in. Hey, Kyle, why don't you talk to kickers?
I don't discriminate versus anyone, but there's not a lot to talk to them about. They need to kick it between those two uprights, and if they want to talk more, that's fine. I'll do whatever they want, but I don't pretend like I'm doing something when I'm talking to the kicker, so I let them try to. I don't like everyone going up to them either. I'd like them to just stay mentally clear, lock into their job, and get it done.
But what about the confidence in the mental game and the Phil Jackson and the Steve Kerr part of the component of your relationship with your kicker?
Well, that's
Kyle,
why you have a special teams coordinator.
He's treating him like, I don't know what word, not a dog, but what word? You got to talk to, he's human, Kyle.
Well, I think football is a lot different than football or baseball, basketball and baseball. There's 53 guys on the team. I think it's impossible in football to have a relationship with every player on your roster.
All right, wow. I hadn't thought of it that way. And I think that's just a mandate.
Well, but your kicker is what? If there's 11 guys on special teams, and some guys play both, you know, defense and special teams, offense, special teams, but you got 22 starters. Let's say, 5 or 6 carry over plus the kicker. Kyle Shanahan's supposed to have a relationship with almost 30 different players.
Well, not like his wife relationship, and I know that's strong. It's an investment of time. But I'll say this, E, and again, it's just me, and you can say, Goo, you're coming from the Disney Channel. But, Evan, I I get chills when I watch football coaches before the game and even at practice. They're all laid out like cattle, and that coach is taking a walk just saying, hey, how you doing? Then he'll go to the neck. Like, that stuff matters to me, and I just feel like Jake Moody ain't getting none of that from Kyle. Like, come on, bro. Chop it up with him, and, if he's struggling. And again, I'm speaking on something that I may not know, but I'm hearing the coach. It's coming from the horse's mouth. It's like, I think that stuff matters, and I would find time to talk to a big component of my team. Just, how you doing? How's the fam? You good? Anything I can do for you? But Evan, not a relationship to where I'm on the phone with you, sending you 20 texts. I get that times 53. But Evan, my kicker and I are going to have a relationship. And it might be, not the prettiest one, but there's got to be, come to me. What can I do for you?
I'm kind of with Kyle on this one. Now, you need to have a relationship with your special teams unit because, you might need to know an overtime rule in the Super Bowl.
Well, that's a 5.
To kind of help them out. But in general, I don't think that a head coach needs to know his kicker. And if he does, it's because that kicker's been a part of the franchise for a long time. Jake Moody's, with all due respect, what has Jake Moody proved yet?